Hey, everybody, and welcome to my live blog about San Diego Comic-Con Day 1. My name is Jessica Dwyer. I am the VIP entertainment reporter for Zenny 62 Media. And typically, at this time of year, I would be roasting in the great land that is San Diego, but I am not. I am here with you, stuck at home, and having to do everything virtually, which is what Comic-Con did this year. I'm glad they did that. It has dampened a few things, definitely. But let's talk day 1 and 2, if you technically pick or include Wednesday as part of San Diego Comic-Con for preview night. So preview night and the Funko drop did not go well. A lot of people are angry. It's kind of, but if you've ever been to San Diego Comic-Con and you have lived through the hell that is the Funko Pop line, you know how shit it is. And they kind of recreated that for everybody with their online drop and sales yesterday, where people were in a queue to just check out after having grabbed their stuff for 25, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just to get to the checkout area. And when they got to the checkout area after that, they ended up waiting another 20 to 25 minutes just to get the shipping part done and pay for everything. And by that point, a lot of people lost everything that were in their carts. Everything was gone, which is much like San Diego Comic-Con if you've lived through it as I have. And it was pretty miserable for a lot of people. I got lucky. I had one thing that I wanted from them, and that was the Sex Panther scented pop of Paul Rudd from Anchorman. And I got it. And I'm lucky I got it because literally about 10 minutes after I got mine, they were sold out for everything. I don't know if they're going to be any more during the show. Possibly, they sometimes do that. The same with Mondo. Mondo had a bunch of items that sold out immediately. People were pissed off. They had a $250 Merman figure that sold out. $250 for Merman. I think I brought this up yesterday, but my God. And then it's pretty. It's still $250 for Merman. The other item they had was a variant of a Star Wars poster, which was beautiful, sold out like almost immediately. So Wednesday night was pretty much as every preview night is, everything sold out. So here we come to today, and this was really the first day that I paid attention to panels. And I'm really kind of disappointed with the panels. Not that they didn't get some good people. They had some great stuff, as I listed off yesterday on my picks on my podcast on Fangirl Radio that you can go listen to tonight. The picks I had were Constantine, Bill and Ted, New Mutants were today. Also Truthseekers, which is the new Amazon series with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. They showed previews of that, but that was the first panel of the day that I was interested in. So I popped on over on my break to check it out. And I was disappointed to see that the panels were all pre-recorded. They weren't live. And there was no interactivity for fans at all. Now I get that there can be some technical issues with this. There could have been some, bandwidth issues, things that wouldn't have worked if you had the chat feature on or something of that nature attached to these. But part of the experience with San Diego Comic-Con and cons in general are getting to ask questions of the celebrities. And instead with these panels, which would have been really a neat thing to have had the opportunity to do, considering we're all stuck at home and not able to really do dick all, would be to have the opportunity to at least throw in a question, possibly get it chosen. I mean, they are able to do this for the Oscars pre-show. I managed to get a question in back when Shape of Water was up for Guillermo del Toro, and they had it on TV, which is a far bigger deal one on this panel stuff that they're doing. So yeah, there's technical things that need to be done. But the fact is, the big thing of San Diego Comic-Con is being able to interact with the celebrities, to talk, ask a question during a Q&A, get up there and get the opportunity. And this doesn't have that. And that's kind of crap, especially with it being part of through YouTube, when there's a live chat option, like right over here or here, depending on how this is showing up on your screen, you have the option to chat. Or if they wanted to do it another way, they could have offered a raffle or a, like a lottery. You toss in your question an hour prior or a day prior, they pick a few and ask them. But from what I saw, there was none of that. And it's all pre-recorded, which kind of sucks. I like the off-the-cuff stuff. I get that they want it to be professional and everything, which is fine. That's why a moderator is there, to keep it clean and kick out anybody that is bad. But that would have been a nice thing to have, considering that's part of the big thing with San Diego Comic-Con, is being able to do that. And I think that's a big thing, flag that they need to take care of next year. If for whatever reason, if we ever have to do this again and do it from home, have that be an option, a thing for people to do. I mean, come on. That's part of it. That's a lot of the reason people come to this show. People go to conventions to be able to talk to the celebrities, to get, even having their question asked with their name attached to it. It's a big deal. And it just seems lame. Hey, Zinni. Zinni is a seasoned vet of the Comic-Con as well. And to me, the two panels, the panels that I watched, that just felt kind of, now let's get into the panels that I actually watched. And let's talk about the news that came out of these. So Constantine, I was wrong. I had been telling everybody they were going to announce a new film. They didn't announce a new movie. Instead, what they announced was that Keanu wants to come back and do it. They didn't announce an actual movie, which I'm surprised by, but at least we know that Keanu Reeves likes to work. And they had a 15, it was just basically to have Keanu in an extra panel because he's Keanu Reeves. So we know that he wants to do a Constantine movie and he's up for it. Great. Let's talk about the other Keanu Reeves movie. Bill and Ted, or should we say Bill and Ted and their daughters. So we got the new trailer for Bill and Ted, and I'm calling it right here. I've called it online, and I'm really pissed off and disappointed and not nearly as interested. Basically, Bill and Ted Get Woke is what this movie should be called. And I say that lovingly. I've loved Bill and Ted from the beginning. I loved Alex Winter as Bill because I loved him in Lost Boys. I love Keanu Reeves. But the problem with this is they're doing to Bill and Ted what they have done to a ton of other properties. And if you can't tell from the trailer, there's a couple of things. One, it is no longer wild stallions that sing the song that bring together the people of the earth and save the world. It is now Preston and Logan, their last names. And that screams to me, if you couldn't tell from the trailer, because you see a lot more of the daughters in this, that it's going to be the daughters who sing the song and save the world. Because girls? I don't know. It just is really ridiculous because they've spent 2 movies with these 2 goofballs that they were going to be the saviors of the world. And instead of making and letting, here's the thing. I am not as old as Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, but I grew up with these guys. And it's another one of those things. It's just like Jay and Silent Bob's reboot. It was all about their daughters instead of making it about the characters and the story and the continuation of those stories. But Bill and Ted specifically, it's supposed to be about Bill and Ted. And yeah, maybe I'm jumping the gun because it's just been a trailer, but have we not seen this happen in other franchises now to the point that it's gotten to be a joke, that the male characters that you've grown up with are now incapable of doing anything themselves? It has to become and write in a female character that just because. So with Bill and Ted, it was funny because at the end of the second film, they had sons. So they retconned that to where it's girls. But in this trailer, it is obvious that is going to be the case, that Bill and Ted will end up saving the world via proxy by having had these kids, these 2 daughters, and they're going to be the ones to save it. Now, I'm not a parent. I got that option taken away from me when I turned 30 and had to have a hysterectomy due to cancer. So I don't have a kid. But what I do have is the fact that I am the age I am, and I like seeing movies, even though it's Bill and Ted. I know it sounds bizarre, but this seems cheap and doesn't interest me because in my mind, I like to see a movie where people have screwed up again, and eventually succeed and become that which they were supposed to. Now, I love the thought of having Bill and Ted be the saviors because they are your typical Valley Boy types. They're goofballs. No one expects anything out of them, but they lived their dream and got to become super rock star gods out of nothing, and would end up their music bringing everyone together. I think just the weirdness and the goofiness and the awesomeness of that just makes me giggle, and I love it. And that should have been what it was. This should have been them figuring out, middle-aged Bill and Ted finally figure it out and make it. But what they're going to do, because I can tell you right now, after watching this trailer, is what they're going to do is they're going to make it about the daughters. And I'm not watching it for the daughters, whatever their names may be, Billy, Teddy. I don't know if they did that or what, but I'm watching it for Bill and Ted. And what's happened is it's becoming another one of those reboot kind of a things where it's not going to be the focus of them. I mean, they even show the daughters going through and picking up characters from history, like a rehash of the other movies. So a lot of people are not happy about this. A lot of people have picked up on this vibe too. So it's kind of disappointing that is where this movie is going. And I kind of wondered about it because when they did the first trailer drop, it didn't really have much. And now we saw more of the film, and it's way more showing what it's going to be. Also, it is going to be released in theaters. I believe the release date is going to be Bill and Ted. I believe it's next month. August 28th. Actually, it's funny because it shares the same release date as New Mutants in theaters, if that's actually going to happen. But it's also going to be available, I believe, on VD. Yeah, it's going to be in cinemas on VOD at the same time. So the fact that they're doing VOD with this is telling, because I don't know that the studio has a lot of faith in it. Maybe. I mean, yeah, I get that we are where we are and theaters aren't really going to be open. But to me, if it's people were super excited about this movie, like big time, happy. Me, I was so stoked. And friends of mine were stoked. This had the potential. It has Keanu Reeves, who's like one of the biggest movie stars in the world, in it. You're going to, you could have held on to it if you had enough faith in it till next year, I think, or later in the year. But instead, they're going to drop it in August and do it on VOD. So there's one of two things. Either they think they're going to make buku money on the video on demand from this, or they realized, it's not going to be as big a hit as we thought. We don't have as much faith in it. We'll go ahead and dump it on VOD because, people are hungry for something. So maybe we'll just make more money on VOD with it. Other studios have pushed all of their stuff. Like there was a big announcement today too from Disney that happened during this, where you found out that they have pushed literally everything. They took freaking Mulan out of rotation. It's not coming. So that's another big news item that came out of this was Mulan got pulled. It's not coming out until whenever, which is interesting. And all the Star Wars movies got moved around. Avatar is now not going to come out until 2022. So yeah, there's been a lot of shifts, and there was a lot of that. This announcement came out today about that. Now, the one movie, anyway, Bill and Ted, that's my thoughts on that. I'm pretty disappointed in where that is going. So a lot of people I know have completely lost interest now because we watch it for the two lead characters, and this is not them. And I could be wrong. Will I still watch it? Yeah. But will I be disappointed? Probably. Because I have a bad feeling that it's going to be what I just described by a lot. When they don't even use the word wild stallions in the description of who it is that saves the world, that kind of tells you something. But New Mutants, praise be to Jesus. The New Mutants finally got some love at Comic-Con with a release of the first, I believe, 5 minutes of the film. And yes, Zinni just said my name in chat. Question. Yes. I have a question. Go on, sir. What do you think of doing this next year? I hope we are able to do it next year. Oh my God, somebody is actually being very uncouth and horrible. And I am not letting that be posted. You are gross, helmet of salvation, and you're not going to have your stuff. Like this, like recapping every day. I would love to do that. That would be fantastic if we were having to. There was someone trying to make a very uncouth remark in chat, and I blocked them because they're gross, and I'm not going to let that on. So anyway, New Mutants finally got some love, and I'm very, very excited about that. It looks great. It's sad that it has taken literally 3-4 years for this movie to finally get out there. So as of right now, we are going to have New Mutants on August 28th. Now, here's the thing. There's some rumor here happening. If you don't know what New Mutants is this poor cursed movie that had to live through Disney taking Marvel, and it had already been shelved for a little bit because it's a movie that is an R-rated, or should be an R-rated, horror / comic book movie. It's very dark, and it deals with some really messed up mutant characters. There was that whole thing with Disney purchasing Marvel and the whole "can we say the word mutant" deal that was happening. Well, now you can, because Disney owns all, because they're God. So anyway, Disney has purchased, got Marvel, and now we finally are getting New Mutants. The rumor is that we've already been told August 28th for theater release, but the rumor is Disney Plus might have it by September 2nd, which is interesting because that would only be like a few days after its theatrical release. They may be doing a combo of doing it in the theaters for like a few days and then having it on for Disney Plus members special. I just want to see the movie at this point. I don't care where I see it. I want to see New Mutants. The footage was great. The footage looked amazing. The opening scene looked great. The Demon Bear storyline is in this. They all looked fantastic. And I'm just happy that it's finally getting out there. I just want to see New Mutants. I've been excited about this since it was announced. Macy Williams is going to be 30 by the time this gets out there. I love the fact that in their trailer, they actually made fun of the fact that it's been had like at least 4 or 5 release dates at this point that never happened. So August 28th of this year, New Mutants is gonna appear, and fingers crossed. That's even in the trailer. Fingers crossed that we get our New Mutants. But it looked great. I'm stupidly excited about it. The director was laughing that it's finally going to be seen, but he's maybe going to curse himself because, it's still not August yet. So that's what I took from Comic-Con day one. Is there was some good things and some not good things. Yesterday, there were a lot of issues with purchasing exclusives. That's probably going to be the case throughout. It's still like that. I mean, it's truly a Comic-Con experience when you're trying to get the stuff you want to buy and you can't. But yeah, so what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on New Mutants, Bill and Ted Get Woke, Constantine? There was also an MST3K panel today that looked good, and Joel Hodgson was there, and I love Joel. But what do you guys think about San Diego at home, Comic-Con at home? Did you enjoy it? How are you having fun with it? Do you wish the panels were interactive where you could actually ask questions? Comment below, let us know. I will be back tomorrow, if possible, with a recap for that day. And then over the weekend as well, I'll try to get back on and do a daily one for you. But as of right now, New Mutants, Bill and Ted, Constantine doesn't really rate, but yeah, that's where we're at. So anyway, you guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Go check out the trailers. Go all of the, as of right now, if you go to Comic-Con's YouTube channel, all of these panels are available. I don't know I don't know for how long, because they are, some of them, going to be limited, but you will be able to watch the panels, and you're not really missing anything, like I said, because they aren't live. So they're pre-recorded. You're not missing anything. Everything is there for you to watch. So otherwise, I hope you guys have a good evening. Let us know what you think. Do you agree about Bill and Ted? Do you think my theory is on point with that it's going to be the daughters that save the day? Do you are you excited about finally getting to see freaking New Mutants after 15 million years of waiting? Let us know. And I hope you guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow night for another recap. Thanks. Bye.